Hi, I'm Kevin Pashane.
And I'm Carly Latcham, and this is Almost Live,
A weekly show designed to help you find out who's who and what's what in Telluride and Mountain Village.
We're going to be sitting down with Peter Kenworthy from Telluride TV and Kate Jones from Telluride Arts. Then we'll head over to the wine geek food freak Patrick Legans.
We're also going to see an episode of Yoga with Barbara, as well as 2 profiles of local venues, and then an episode of Device Advice with the Wilkinson Public Library.
We'll head over to Club Red for a recent performance from Lukas Nelson and Promise of the Real. But for now, let's just head over to Catherine Warren for her Warren Commission.
Hi, I'm the Wine Geek Food Freak, Chef Patrick Legans. Today I thought I'd teach you a cool thing that you can do with zucchinis. Super simple, really great for antipasta platters, picnics, all kinds of stuff. So I've cut some zucchinis on the bias. I've got some hot oil. You don't want to overcrowd the pan because it'll drop the temperature of the oil too much. Also, after we take these first run out and we have to do these guys, you're going to want to let that oil heat back up because the temperature is going to drop a lot in this process. Just looking for a little golden color on both sides. You put on a paper towel, or just a towel like I do. Put these guys here just to rest. They look pretty. If you're throwing a big party or anything like that, these are awesome. All right, then we start decorating. The next step is pretty simple. Now we're just going to put some extra virgin olive oil right over the top, some red wine vinegar. You just want to put enough red wine vinegar that you can see it moving on the bottom of the plate. It doesn't need to be swimming in it. And then it's salt. I'm using a crushed sea salt, a little black pepper, and some diced up mint. And there you have it. Zucchini and red wine mint sauce. Until next time, remember, all you need is good ingredients, some care, and a minute of your time, and you can eat like me, Patrick Legans, the Wine Geek Food Freak.
Hi, I'm Catherine Warren with this week's Warren Commission. The fun kicks off on Thursday night at the Liberty Bar with a Grateful Dead dance party with DJ Wombat. The music will start about 10 p.m. and is the perfect way to kick off an awesome weekend of music and entertainment. On Friday, Robert Ellis plays music on the green at Reflection Plaza, adjacent to Hotel Madeline. He calls himself the Texas Piano Man, so you know it's going to be over the top and super fun. That's free and from 5 to 7 p.m. Also in Mountain Village is Mind Blown at the Madeline. They have both a 7 and a 9 p.m. show just up the stairs from the Robert Ellis show. And if you're in the town of Telluride, the Ride Festival kicks off early on Friday night this year with a special Widespread Panic show, and that begins around 7 p.m. in Town Park. On Saturday, the Ride Festival continues with a second night of Widespread Panic. As if the first night weren't enough, it's going to be so much fun. Other bands include Big Something, the Temperance Movement, Los Colonias. And on Sunday, the headliner is Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit. They also have Big Head Todd, Rose Hill Drive, so many awesome bands. If you go to ridefest.com, you can see the full schedule of events and get tickets for the late night shows that take place at the Opera House, Liberty, Whittier, and OB. So check it out online for a full rundown. If you're not going to the Ride Festival, that's A-OK. There's still plenty of fun to be had. On Saturday night at the Phoenix Bean, they have the Telluride Gold Kings playing at 6 p.m. That is a free show. It's a bar meets coffee house, and they have dinner. So you can bring your family, get some dinner, drinks, non-alcoholic or alcoholic, and enjoy some great music from some awesome local musicians. And if you're in Mountain Village on Saturday night, the Movies Under the Stars series continues with Raiders of the Lost Ark at 8:45 p.m. Moving into next week, they have Porch Couch playing at the Phoenix Bean at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and a fabulous singer-songwriter from Carbondale, Colorado named Jackson Emmer plays the Sheridan Opera House's Show Bar at 8 p.m. On Wednesday, the Sunset Concert Series continues in Mountain Village with the artist Sean James playing at 6 p.m. And then Wednesday night is also the kickoff of the Americana Music Festival, and it runs next Wednesday through Saturday with Jack Ingram, Bonnie Bishop, John Fulbright, and a host of other fabulous Americana country artists. And you can find out more online at SheridanOperaHouse.com. And if that weren't enough, you can pick up a copy of this week's Watch newspaper for my Warren Commission column, where I go into much more detail about all the fun to be had. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to another mini episode of Yoga at Telluride TV. Today we'll be looking at Supta Padangusthasana. You want to lay down for this on your mat. This is a wonderful stretch that you can do, especially after skiing. Beautiful inner thigh stretch. So lay down on your back, straight legs. You can use a strap for this if your hamstrings are not very flexible and you can't reach your toes with your hands, or you can keep your knees bent. Anyway, we start with the right leg. So first bend the knee and bring the leg in towards your chest. Then slowly, slowly, slowly reach up and grab your right big toe with your first 3 fingers. You can stay like this with a bent knee. On an inhale, you're going to reach up and touch your chin towards your shin. If you can extend the leg, great. 5 breaths. 1, 2. The left leg stays strong. Left arm is extended. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale. Just reach your your back down. Then the right leg is going to go to the right. So slowly bring the right leg down. Again, bend your knee or use a strap if you can't hold on to your toes. Gaze to the left. Left hip goes down and breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, touch. Inhale, release. First the head down. Exhale, the leg down. Left side. So right leg super strong, right hip level. And then bring the left knee in towards your chest. Reach for your big toe. Keep the arm on the inside of the leg so we avoid sort of a weird rotation in the femur. And then slowly, if you can, extend the leg. Otherwise, keep the knee slightly bent. Reach up and touch your chin towards your shin. 1, 2, 3, right leg strong, 4, and 5. Then bring the head down and slowly, slowly, slowly extend the left leg to the left. It's normal that the hip is going to lift a little bit, so we're going to try and press it down with the right hand. Heel is touching the floor. If possible, you gaze towards the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it back to center, bend the knee if you can. Exhale, touch. Inhale, head down. Exhale, release. Take a couple of breaths here, just in a neutral position. And then slowly sit back up. This was Supta Padangusthasana. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.
And we're back, and we're here on the couch with Peter Kenworthy, the executive producer of Telluride TV, who's here to tell us a little bit about what's new and exciting with Telluride TV.
Thanks, Carly.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on the set, or thanks for allowing me to put myself on the set.
Well, it's great having you here.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have an interesting dynamic because, in a way, I'm your boss when you're working for Telluride TV, but you're now on the board of directors of Telluride TV, so technically you're my boss. Interesting.
Oh yeah, that's fun. But anywho, we always start with our Telluride story. So what made you come to Telluride, stay in Telluride?
Well, that is an interesting story, and it's kind of long, so I'll just cut to the short version of that. But it was in the early 90s, and I was actually living in London and was scheduled to go to Istanbul for a 2-year stint. I was working for a British banking consultancy that had an affiliate there. And we were literally 3 days from flying from London to Istanbul, and the deal kind of blew up. And so we ended up, our house was rented out, all our stuff was in storage, and I really didn't know what to do. So we came back to the East Coast where my parents lived, where I'm from. And I really wasn't enamored of the idea of trying to find a job in banking on the East Coast. And a friend came back from visiting Telluride just raving about what a really cool town it was. And I thought, I've always wanted to live in a ski town. I'd really like my boys. I had 3 little boys at the time. I'd love them to grow up learning how to ski and living in the mountains. So I took a Greyhound bus from Pennsylvania out to Glenwood Springs and then rented a rent-a-heap and did a little circuit because I had friends in Aspen and Crested Butte, and I knew one person in Telluride, which was Steve Gumble, of all people.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Brother of a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
So I started in Telluride, completely fell in love as soon as I saw it. It didn't hurt that I drove in on the last day of the season, the big street party.
Oh, yeah, the Kodo
street party. And I thought, okay, it's my kind of town. And that was it. Fell in love, went back east, packed up a U-Haul and brought our stuff out. And I didn't think it would be forever, but it's been forever since then.
Yeah.
And there's my story.
And you've become such a huge part of the community. I mean, you worked, I don't know where you were before Mountain Film, but why don't you tell us a little bit about your evolution to becoming the executive director?
Well, my first job in town was as a mortgage broker. It was something I hadn't done before, but I had a financial background. It was interesting. I met a lot of people that way, but I didn't make a lot of money. And then I got a job at the Bank of Telluride, and I was there for a number of years, and then was at Vectra Bank for a few years. And I really never liked banking. And it took me 3 times getting out of banking for it to stick. And after the 3rd time, I went to China and Southeast Asia for a year with my middle son, Nick, and taught English in China for about 6 months at a business school. And I had written a book which got published, so I came back for that and was writing for The Watch. Actually, as a reporter, I was like the cover reporter.
So you're like slowly switching into journalism.
Yeah, exactly. And then the executive director position at Mountain Film came up, and I thought, wow, I always loved Mountain Film. I figured my skill set would be a welcome addition there. So I applied, not knowing whether I'd get the job or not, and fortunately I did, and I spent 8 years as executive director of Mountain Film, most of that time working with David Holbrook as festival director, and it was really great. I loved it. And 8 years later, I'd kind of gotten to the point where I was like, oh man, this takes its toll. And I had always had this dream of building my own house. And so the opportunity presented itself to do that. And I dropped out of Mountain Film to build a house and accomplished that successfully, way beyond my expectations actually. And then the Telluride TV job just happened to be available right as soon as I needed a job again. So I took this.
And lucky for us, you're here and you have done some really amazing changes, including our website.
Yeah. The website's great. And what's the big news right now is that we are now available online, which was never the case before, really. I mean, we have a YouTube channel where we show a lot of stuff, but what I don't like so much about YouTube is that once someone goes there, then suddenly they're bombarded by all these other options that take them away from you.
Yeah, and the website is super clear now. If you go to TellurideTV.org, you can watch the channel live right on our website, as well as all of our other archived content is just in a drop-down menu, and it's so much more well-organized.
Yeah, it's pretty slick. It's pretty smooth, very streamlined. It's all from the home page, and you can either look stuff up and stay on our website doing that, or you can go to what we call a public site, which is actually hosted by our server company, and then that's really clear as well. Everything we have is categorized by type of programming, and you can just sort of scroll through and pick out what you want to watch. So it may be a play by the Telluride Rep from years ago. It may be a Telluride AIDS benefit fashion show.
It might be a local business profile.
It might be a local business profile.
Speaking of that, we're going to head over to some local business profiles next. Thank you so much for coming here and talking
Carly.
about the website and telling us your story.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for all you do for Telluride TV as well. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
My name is Adam Singer. I am one of the owners of The Liberty. We are a bar lounge here in downtown Telluride. And this is a great space. It's comfortable. The lighting is great. The atmosphere is fun. We have like 30 wines available. We have some very high-end wines by the glass even, and champagne, and we have a specialty cocktail menu, draft beer. So a little bit of everything that we try to accommodate. We want to be approachable. You could come in and have a $3 PBR, and you can have a $300 bottle of Dom Perignon if you want. There's a band or a DJ almost every Friday and Saturday, so there's a lot of live entertainment and a lot of fun. There's always something happening here.
When you walk into the View Bar and Grill, you'll see immediately where we got our name. Our relaxed, comfortable, and welcoming atmosphere will immediately make you feel on top of the world. Whether you're relaxing by the fire, enjoying a bite to eat by the pool, or having a cocktail at the bar. Our menu evolves seasonally and reflects the simple and straightforward preparation of comfortable classics. We have many fun shareable dishes too. We have a rotating selection of 12 Colorado brews on tap, and our bartenders mix up some of the coolest, most unique drinks around. And don't forget our adult slushies. The View is a cool gathering spot for guests and locals alike to enjoy good food, drinks, and in my opinion, really good people. I'm Chef Bud, and I look forward to seeing you here at the View soon.
Welcome back. I'm here with Kate Jones of Telluride Arts. Kate, how are you today?
I'm great. Hi, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm really well.
That's good.
How are you today?
I'm doing all right. The weather's pretty nice right now.
It's gorgeous out there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Listen,
indeed.
I'm curious. Tell me, what is it that brought you to Telluride? Like, what brought you to Telluride Arts? Tell me your history.
Okay. I came here from Washington State, where I did a very similar job up in the rural North Cascades. It was beautiful up there too. And I came here for this job, to be the director of what then was the Telluride Council for the Arts and Humanities. And then we changed the name to Telluride Arts and then established the Arts District. So now we use those two names interchangeably. Mm-hmm. And I'm the director of that organization. And I met you in my first office in the Strong House. We were all mixed up in amongst the studios at that time. Yep. And you came in as this little pipsqueak kid with a big portfolio, and you needed a place to work.
That's right.
You remember?
Yeah. I was just working out of my bedroom at the time. I had no room at all. I definitely needed a space, and then just came in and was like, hey, I need a space.
And we said, no. We didn't have any space at all. And then you came back the next day with your portfolio. And we said, sorry, it's not really about the quality of work. We literally just don't have any space. And then you came back the next day and you were like, well, can we just check it out? And you found a little space under the elevator, the old historic elevator. And you made that your studio for 4 years.
Yeah, that was my home.
And produced a ton of work.
Definitely.
I own some of your original work, in fact.
All rare pieces now.
Yeah, I'm thinking the value's going up daily.
See about that.
Anyway, so good to see you here in Telluride.
You as well. So, I had heard that Telluride Arts has been doing something with the transfer warehouse building. Now, I know you guys have been throwing parties in there for a couple of years, and those are always a lot of fun. But what's been going on with that?
Well, it was about 4 years ago that we got involved in that big development that was happening on that whole property that included the Stronghouse Studios, that big parking lot, and the transfer warehouse. It also included the lot across the street that now has been built already, the one between the warehouse and the library. When that developer came in, they bought that property from the Zolines, and they were planning to do this big development, which is almost completed. They needed to provide a community benefit. This is a requirement to do that kind of development in Telluride. And we were invited to be the nonprofit to essentially shepherd what that community benefit would be. At the time, we were tenants of the Stronghouse, which we loved, but it needed a lot of TLC, as you well know. And we were invited to make a proposal to become the owners of the Stronghouse. And at that moment, decided we'd really rather have the warehouse. We felt like the warehouse deserved to be a public space. And at the time, they were talking about building a big restaurant and doing a condo in there, as per usual. So we got involved, and it took about 3 years to negotiate the deal. And during that time, we started opening up the building for parties and getting people excited about being in the space and getting people excited about activating that as a public space and a cultural center. So it's been about 4 years of due diligence and negotiations and town approvals and fundraising. And just a couple of weeks ago, we paid off the debt on the building.
Congratulations.
Which means that we own it outright, and put some money in the bank in order to at least build a roof on the building.
So if I'm not mistaken, then whatever you guys end up planning on doing with it, it has to be for the public, something that the public
That's
can
right.
use.
And that's something we feel really proud of as an organization, is that we took it out of the private domain and made it a public space forever that can never be taken away. So it's the first time in the history of the building, it was built in 1906, that it's been a public space. It feels like a public space because people love that building so much, and it's been a warehouse, and then it was a gas station, and lots of people have used the space. But now it's truly a public space that'll be open for people to flow into all the time.
Awesome. And so what are some of the things you're planning to put inside of the transfer warehouse when it's completed?
So our vision is to max out that space with 4 floors. So instead of just putting a roof on, which is our base requirement that the town has asked us to do as part of this whole deal, we are going to take a little time and raise more money and make it a 4-story cultural center. So underground is a media room. It'll be for film screening and broadcast, like this kind of space. Kodo could use it for like live concerts or live broadcast. Telluride TV can use it. Our film festivals can use it. We can have art films there, things like that. It's a small, finely tuned space. Then the ground floor will function a lot like the warehouse functions now, with lots of different kinds of parties and community activities. So we just had a little arts bazaar, that kind of stuff can happen in there. We can have artist receptions, we can have big parties, we can have dinners, we can do all sorts of community events in that space. That's our most flexible space. And then on the second story is a 4,000 square foot exhibition space. So very large scale. And we can do exhibitions that aren't possible anywhere else in this town. It's going to be climate controlled, beautifully lit, and also we imagine free and open to the public all the time. It can also double as artist in residence studios during the off season when there isn't a lot of traffic for an exhibit. So it has a lot of flexibility, but primarily will be used as an exhibition space. And then on the rooftop, we have another community space. It can also be used for small concerts. I think the capacity right now is about 200 people for that rooftop. It can be used for meetings. There's a beautiful community table on that level. And then there's a bar and like museum quality food service throughout. So like probably light soups and sandwiches.
You guys have got this all planned out. That's a lot.
We do. We've been planning for a very long time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on and letting everyone know what's going to be happening to that building. And it seems like the future of Telluride Arts is insanely bright right now.
Thank you, Kevin. We really look at this building as an opportunity to amplify all that we do for the local arts community.
Well, we all appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Great
coming
to
on.
see you.
Thank you. Without people like Kate or Telluride Arts, Telluride just wouldn't be as special. Telluride TV is an important part of the community, and we like to shout out our most generous supporters: the town of Mountain Village, the town of Telluride through Case, and the Telluride Ski and Golf Company. Next, we're going to head over to the Wilkinson Public Library for another episode of Device Advice.
Hi, my name's Gloria.
My name's Hank.
We are from Wilkinson Public Library, and welcome to Device Advice.
So, what are you going to talk about today, Gloria?
I'm going to talk about MyFitnessPal. Are you guys looking to set some goals, count your calories? Well, MyFitnessPal is the app for you. You can keep a food diary as well as track nutritional information. It's got 4.7 stars and is rated by 477,000 people. So, if you want to lose weight, start a new diet, get healthy, this app is awesome.
Are you done yet?
What?
Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys about travel apps. You know, there are a lot of wonderful things about traveling, getting to experience new cultures and meet new people. There are a lot of totally abysmal things about traveling, like renting cars. If you're still renting cars through traditional car rental services, you're an idiot, because there's a better way. And I'm going to show you. It's this great app called Tourette. I can go search over 300 cities around the world, type in the dates that I'm going to be traveling to this city, hit search. Let's just say I'm going to Madrid in July. I'm not going to Madrid in July, but I would like to. So on this hypothetical journey, I can just type in my details and bam, look at that. Opel Corsa, 51 euro a day. That's somebody's private vehicle that I can rent. That's pretty freaking awesome.
Hey Hank, how much is 51 euros in US dollars?
I have absolutely no idea. But tune in next time and I'll show you guys a cool app for currency conversions.
Thanks for watching Device Advice, brought to you by Wilkinson Public Library.
Do you have a device dilemma? In other words, do you have one of these things and you're not quite sure what to do with it? Come see us at Wilkinson Public Library.
was a super cool episode of Jamcast. Unfortunately, Almost Live is
almost over.
But if you missed part of the episode, never fear, because you can always catch us morning, noon, and night on Channel 12 in Mountain Village or on Channel 1304 in the town of Telluride.
You can also catch all of TTV's daily programming, as well as their archived content online at TellurideTV.org or on our social media.
Yeah, be sure to follow us at Telluride TV. Bye for now.